welcome back, and if you're new, a big welcome to you. This is Winona from Dairy Barn Art, and this is a Flosstube channel. It's February 23rd, 2026, and this is my channel about my cross stitching and quilting mainly, and some bag making. I do a bit of crochet now and then, but I haven't done any since I got cats. And a little bit of paper crafting hopefully in the future. Hopefully I'll get down to my basement and get it all set up, and it's been like that for a year and I haven't gotten down there, so I don't hold out hope for the future. But anyway, let's get started. I have a lot to share with you today. It's been a long time since I've done a video, and I should just get started and start with you right away. So I had a couple of starts and finishes in the time I've been away, and they're my biddy bowls. So here's my December biddy bowl from Pine Mountain. She's not doing anything this year. She's taken a year off, which is good. That gives me a year to get caught up on everything. So this gets made into a little cushion, a little pillow, and then this one gets made into a bag, and this is stitched on 16 count Ada Vintage Country Mocha. I really like it, and I enjoy stitching on Ada too. And then this one I did on the wrong side. I can't believe I did that. I stitched on the wrong side. Now you can see my messy back. This is January's. It's a little ski chalet, and then a little snowman. So these are just fun small stitches, and it comes with this fabric sewn on the top and on the bottom. They're just a quick stitch. Usually I can finish them in a couple of days, and where most of my projects are big projects. So we'll go to my 1 to 2 threads a day. I just have to see if I can move this wire a bit. It's kind of in my way. I haven't ironed anything. Like I said, I don't believe in ironing until everything's done. And I don't have a card in there. Oh, we have a visitor. Theodore, you have to go away. I'm sorry. You've been coming here. Let's just say hello, okay? You want to say hello to everybody? Here. Oh. We'll see if you can see up. Can you look up, Theodore? Can you look up? He's the cutest kitty. Here, can you look up? No. No, he can't. For some reason, my screen is just flashing and flashing and flashing. Sweetheart, you have to go have a nap while I do this, okay? He's usually napping at this time, and I went downstairs to get something to drink because my throat was dry before I started this video. So anyway, this is pattern S13 from Sell & More Cross Stitch, and I've been working on it for a couple of years, I think since 2023, and I'm getting close to the finish line. Here, I'll take this out of its hoop. My other cat loves these magnets. Some days when he's really bothering me, I'll just throw one on the floor just so that he can play with it and get out of my way. This is going to get ironed soon because it's going to be done soon. But I'll spread it out here. So I've got all of the borders done, and now I'm just working on the inside, and I've only got this little bit and this little bit. And this is stitched on Evertote's porcelain. 36 count. I started it when I first learned I could stitch on linen, and I remember it being so hard to stitch. You know what I forgot to show you is my book. Not my book of days, but my journal. But we'll finish this and then I'll bring my books. But anyway, this is probably the next time you see me, it'll be completed and you'll get to see it ironed. Maybe with a little luck, you'll even see it framed. But I've enjoyed working on this, and it's amazing when you take 2 threads a day, just 2 single threads a day, how much you can get done and how quickly it can go. And when I look on camera, I really like this. But when I first started it, I really didn't like the variegation, the way it went. But I think once it's framed, and what do you think? Should I frame it? All along I've been thinking I'm going to frame it in a white frame. But now I'm wondering, should I frame it in a dark, skinny frame with a little bit of scroll work so it looks old? Should I give it a little tea bath and make it look old, or should I keep it looking fresh? I don't know. I'd hate to go to all this work and then do the tea bath and hate it. It's all DMC. It's stitched with DMC variegated floss. Where is it here? 40/30. And that was before I really knew about hand-dyed floss. I just knew DMC. Anyway, if you just hold on a second, I'll bring my book over. Okay, I've been cross-stitching a lot. I got this book from Evertote. It's My Crazy Life by Lori. I don't know her last name, but I set up January. So here's January. And I also have my quilting in here. And there's my starts for the month. And there's my finishes for the month. So as you can see, I stitched almost every day. And then I took pictures of the quilts, the quilt I've been making. I took pictures as I did everything else. I didn't fully finish anything. Here's February so far. And again, I've stitched almost every day. I've got a few starts. I've got some life with cats. It's never boring. I've got some finishes here as well. So and then as I've been doing my quilt, I've been checking it. Here we go again. He turned my camera off. You looking at the kitty on the TV? That's you. You look up here, sweetie. Here, here, here. Look up there. There. Now that people can see you. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Just thankful the lather one's not up here too, because they become a little too much to try to fight away. Okay, so that's my book. Let's go to Sayings of the Seasons. This is a start. Where is it? Oh man, here he's come back. This is Sayings of the Seasons by the Stitching with the Housewives. This was through Fat Quarter Shop last year. Or not last year, the year before that. Okay, you watch the screen from there. But that cat doesn't appear then, does he? Oh, I have to remember to put that back in the bag. So here's a pattern. And this is on 28 count black Monaco. And I've only been doing a few days every month on this, so I won't get it finished in the 3 months that I've allotted last year. But I found last year was really stressful with trying to get everything done and then I wasn't doing what I really wanted to do. So this year I've told myself, you're going to stitch what you want. So Theodore, oh, you're going to have to go down again. Did he turn my camera off again? Oh no. Okay, so here we go. I've been having issues with my camera, getting it to work. It's an old phone that I have. And my computer doesn't want to recognize it for some reason. So there we go. This is stitched with 2 strands of Classic Color Works overdyed floss. And I don't care. I'll stitch on 2 strands. I'll stitch on 1 strand. I do like the... Oh, I like the look of everything actually. 14 count, well, it's a little bigger than I'd like now, but you know what, if I had to, I'd stitch on it just so I could stitch. Okay, you knock my pages down here, my cheat notes. So then we've got Hometown Mystery. This is the Teresa Kogut Mystery through Patreon. It's being released at market, and this is being stitched on 36 count Fox and Rabbit up in the attic. The stitch is 182 by 356 stitches. Finish is approximately 10 by 20 inches. And here's all the floss, all the DMC floss. Some people converted it to overdyes. I just left it with the DMC. And honestly, I think there's so much in this pattern. Like it's so big that I think it's fine just in DMC. I have to be honest with you, I don't like stitching on this linen. I find it plump, if that's a way to describe it. I find that the fibers are plump and my needle shreds them. I don't know if others find that or if it's just me. But here we go. I'm on month 10 right now. I finished month 8 and month 9, and now I'm working up here, and I've got to finish down to here. But it's a nice stitch. I'm not halfway done yet. I've still got a long way to go before I'm finished it. I probably won't finish it this year. I'll probably have to carry it into next year. But if I put 5 days a month in, I think that's good. I might not finish the section I'm working on that month, and I'm just going to have to learn to live with it. I have a very type A personality where I like to do things a certain way. Like years ago, I was doing a block of the month, quilting a block of the month, and our basement flooded. And I was working on month 2, or month 3, I think it was, and I couldn't find month 4 after we cleaned everything up. And I still haven't finished that quilt because I couldn't go on to month 5 until I did month 4, and that's just the way I am, and that's just me. So it's really hard to put this down when I don't have it done for the month, but I'll learn. I have so many samplers I want to sew, and I just need to make time every month. I'm hoping that in time I'll stay awake later at night, and that I say that every month, and I am staying up. I'm staying up about an hour later so far. I suffer from anemia, and so I'm tired a lot of the time, like severely tired. And I get up early in the morning and I stitch, and that's about all the stitching I get done most days, because by supper time I'm beat. I'm done. Okay, this is a start for this month. I've started to do Sunday stitching, and this is my Sunday stitch. And what I'm stitching is I'm stitching the Old Rugged Cross, and this is a Heartstring Sampler, a little book that I picked up a couple of years ago. I bought all the floss, and I didn't do it. It sat for a couple of years. I had to marinate. So anyway, this is where I am. I've just worked on it a couple of Sundays. And the last Sunday I was working on it, I was having a really hard time counting. Sometimes I'd have 3 spaces or 2 spaces between, like, you know how you stitch over 2? I was stitching over 3, and then other times I was stitching over 1, and I was just making a big mess, so I just put it down that day, and I said, that's it, I can't stitch on this today. But this is stitched on 40 count ginger ale by Grace Notes Fabrics. I got this when I was in her monthly fabric club. And you know what? It could be simply that this needle's too big. I may need to go to a smaller needle. so that I can get into that thread when I need to. That could be part of it. But I'm enjoying this, and this last Sunday I didn't stitch on it because I forgot it was Sunday. That was yesterday, I guess, and I forgot that it was Sunday. And I wanted to get ready to do this video so badly. And I had another video for my other channel that I had to get edited and put up, and it just kind of went away, so I didn't work on it this week. But you gotta live, you gotta get, you know, you gotta allow yourself these things, because I don't normally allow myself. This is my absolute favorite piece I'm working on right now, and I want to try working on this every month. This is Julia Rachel de la Mare, 1849, a Guernsey Channel Islands sampler by Cross Stitch Antiques. I love this. I joined Country Samplers historical club, or I can't remember what it was called. I joined it because of this chart, and it wasn't available to the public then. Oh, I didn't fill out my card. So it is stitched on, let's look here. It doesn't say. So it must be what's in here. Oh, linen in this kit, Hemingway by Needle and Flax. Do I love stitching on this? It is such a nice linen to stitch on. Now I know why people say Needle and Flax is so nice. A little plastic hoop. I'm running out of my little wooden hoops. I've got too many projects on the go. I made this to take to Stitch and Stash last year. Was it Stitch and Stash I took them to? Yes, and then when I got home I made a whole bunch more for myself. And this is Boss of the Floss, and then Dairy Barn Art, and then it's got my name on it. So here are the floss for this, all the over-dyed, and they all came in the kit. Love them. And this is where I'm at. So there's 2 threads going around for the border, a light green and a dark green. I've gone to the far end on the bottom, so now I'm starting up here, and I'm going to come over across and go down, and then I'll work. I love the border. I put in a few flowers before I did anything, and I just love it. I love the way the variegation in the thread changed the colors. I love stitching it. This is definitely gonna get worked on, and I need to figure out a way. I did it for 3 days this month, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get more days every month in, because I really do love that, and I really want to get it finished. I want to stitch on it. I want to get it on my wall. So that's something I'm going to work on every month, hopefully. Then we've got, oh, not that one. We've got Susan. Susan is by Carolyn Manning. And once I picked up doing Sunday stitching, I picked up doing Manning Monday as well. So here's the pattern. I work on this on the computer on my iPad rather than the pattern. I find it much easier if I can get things into Markup RXP or even into Apple Apple Books, iBooks or whatever, or GoodNote, Goodreader. But here are the floss. They're all DMC. And then I bought this off of Amazon to put my floss in, because if you can look here, sometimes you only stitch a couple of stitches and that's it. And then you've got this extra floss. Well, sometimes I'll carry it over, and other times I need to cut it because I don't have a place close by to carry it. And then I've still got lots of floss on. I hate to waste it. So I've just been sticking the needles in here. It means I've got a lot of needles in play, but it also makes it easier for me. This is a pleasure to stitch. I did make mistakes. I think I'm out. And you know what? When you make mistakes, write them down, because if you put your piece aside for a while, and then you forget, you know you made a mistake, but you don't remember what the mistake is. And I'm thinking it's about half a stitch somewhere in here, but I'll worry about it when I get there, and I'll make do. But here you can see a close-up of my stitches. Can't wait till I finish this. I'm on my second page here, and do I have a card in here? I don't know where all my cards are. This is stitched on. This fabric, I got at StitchCon when I went a couple of years ago. I wish I could go again, but not this year. This is stitched on 40 count atomic ranch clover. And isn't it awesome? You might not think to stitch green on green, but oh boy, that looks good, if I say so myself. I picked up some Nurge hoops off of Facebook de-stash, and it's nice to have a few extra hoops. I'd like to know where the card went from that bag, though. So then I've got another start. And this is Serenity. This I picked up at Stitch North last year from Evertote. And this is by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. I think it was their special for the retreat. Here's the Roxy Floss threads, floss, fibers, and this is all I've got so far. And I'll explain why and when I'm stitching on this when I do my plans at the end of my cross-stitching segment. I forgot to say I do my cross-stitching now. I do my whole of my cross-stitching, my starts, my whips, my finishes, my fully finishes, my haul, and my plans, and then I switch over and I do all of the same with my quilting. So yeah, that's just, I think it's easier for me doing it that way. I can get stuff put away. So this was a start this month. I didn't get much done. The chart is very small. Let me just show you. If you look here. So I'm going to scan this into my computer and put it on my iPad. I can stitch so much faster when it's on the iPad. This is on 40 count Arrowroot by Roxy Floss. The stitch count is 141 by set 117, and the finished size is approximately 7 inches by 6 inches. That's why I need my cards. I need to order some more. I'm going to Stitch North, and I like to give these away. Next is another one that I really like, that I'd like to see finished this year somehow, some way. This isn't the best bag to store a piece like this in. This is Teresa Kogut's Come to the Garden. Let's pull this out. This is stitched on 36 count Weeks Dye Works straw. 225 by 295 is the stitch, and it finishes approximately 12.5 by 16.5. Teresa makes these big things, hey? But I really do enjoy it. And this was another one I remember when I started stitching on it on 36 count. I was like, this is so hard, I'm never gonna finish it. And now 36 is easy. Just goes to show if you're going to start stitching on linen and it's too hard, just keep persevering. Oh, got a thread caught. So that's where I am. This is a little bit on the second page, and this is still the first page. I'm out here. I don't know what I've done. I was too tired that night to look at it to see why I'm out. I'm out in here somewhere, but I don't know if it'll matter in the end. I think it's right here. I think I'm supposed to have more stitches at the beginning. Let me just take a quick look and see. No. No, I don't know what I've done. But you know what? This was another one of my first pieces that I did on linen, and I'll just have to fix it. I'll just have to figure it out. I'm not going to pick it out. We'll just figure out a way to make up for it later. But isn't that beautiful? And the nice stitches. And everything's so wrinkly because I stitch in such small hoops, and I'm constantly folding the fabric out of my way. And I don't cut. I use a full fat quarter. I don't cut to the size I should. But I don't know if I showed you the floss. Mostly DMC, but a few over dies. This was the flags I made. The floss drops I made one year before I started ordering them. And I decided it was too much work. Much easier to order them. I gotta put it away because I have enough of a mess when this is done without trying to figure out what chart goes in what bag, even though most of my bags have these little tags on that I make. And then I have a vintage mason jar that when I finish a project, I take the tag and I put it in, and I'm trying to fill it up with projects. Okay, this is another start this month. This is Brenda Gervais Spring Trio. I bought this last spring. Here's the floss for this. It's all over dyes. Beautiful colors. And then here's where I am. I'm working on this one, and I've just started laying in this work. I must be getting close to the corner now. And I'm stitching this on 36 count fabric that I bought from Dyeing for Cross Stitch. They do a monthly fabric of the month, and you can just go in and look at it and decide if you want it. And I bought it in 36 count, and this was from January 2024. And again, I'm sewing it on the full fat quarter, but I'll sew all three of them on there. I'll just move to different corners. And this one I don't need to put on my computer because there isn't a lot of stitching in there, and it's easy to see. The chart's nice and big. Another one of my pieces I'd like to finish this year is Martha S. Scott. You can see I have the tag there. Oh, I'm gonna have to be careful pulling this out. Okay, where's the picture? Just give me a second here. Here we go. card's not in there either. Okay, this is Martha. That's not the... I must not have a picture of it. Or do I? Just hold for a second. Talk amongst yourself. I must have a picture. No, I don't see a picture here. I don't know where it is. But I'm stitching this on I don't know because I've lost my card. But I will know for next month because I know where my card is. I just haven't put it back in the bag. These are the called for floss. They're always a mess. This is where I'm at. So I've got to do, I don't know where the picture went to. I'll try to look up, I'm going to do this so I know that I need to add something here. I'm going to try to look online for the picture and I'll pop it in if I remember. So there we are. You know, and these stitches ghost a little bit, but you can still see they're stitched. It's like tone on tone. This is a nice little apricot color linen. And I think it's like a 36 or a 32 count. I can't remember. But there's alphabets all across here. And then you get down here and there's some images. And this is one of the images. I saw this, Brenda or Laura from Brenda and the Cereal Starter. One of them was doing it or had done it, and this was a couple of years ago, and that was on my list of my my wish list for a long time, and then I finally got it, and then I started it as one of my when I did 12 starts of Stitchmas, which I didn't do this year because I have so many starts, but when I did that, this was one of the starts for one of the years. And I really should put a small, I'm making some more bags, so maybe I'll move these to one of the bags I'm making when I make it, and then put a smaller chart in here. And I've got, what do I have on here? Oh, this is, I got this from StitchCon 2024 when I was there. And when I made this bag, I cut this too short at the top. So I just took a kitty from, and I had a kitty that looked like that, except it had a mustache kind of, but I just took that kitty print and I just sewed it on there to cover up where I was too short. Then we've got Brick House Sampler. I love working on this. This is by Brenda Gervais. This is stitched on 28 count mushroom Lugana. The stitch count is 266 by 114. My eye's itchy. The called for over dyed floss. Love it. I love these muted colors. And it should finish about 9.5 by 4 inches. So here's where I am. And this is stitched 1 over 1 on the 28 count. And I'm really enjoying working on this. I've finished the tree here, and now I just need to do the stem. Oops, you got glare there. There we go. I have a long ways to go before this is done, but there you go. You can see the stitching. I try to buy all of Brenda Gervais patterns as they come out. It's not that easy in Canada. I tend to buy them from Country Sampler. Traditional Stitches carries them in Canada, but you never know when you're going to get them. And I don't know if they carry all of them. I just order from Country Sampler and get the whole season's, you know, what she brought out that season. So here we've got Star Dragon. This is my end of the month stitch. This is by Owl Forced Embroidery. I'm using their floss, which is beautifully variegated. Here's the pattern. I'm nowhere near, I'm not even close to halfway finished this, but I try to do it the last 2 days of the month. This is stitched on, this was my birthday start for 2024. This is stitched on 40 count millstone by Legacy Fiber Arts, and it's 185 by 445 stitch count. Stitch finish size is about 9.3 inches by 22.3 inches. And there we go. This magnet is so strong. There we go. So that's where I am so far. So I've done this, and I've come down here and stitched this on both sides, and now I'm working in the red, and then I'll come down through here and here, and then I'll pick up again at the border. But it's nice. It's nice. I wish I had more time to stitch, but this will get done when it gets done. And I like stitching on this linen. It's an easy linen to stitch on. Some 40 counts are harder than others to stitch on, and this is an easy one. And then finally, I think that's it, yeah. Oh, got a loose thread there. Finally, I've got another Owl Forest embroidery that I just worked on this morning for a little while. And this is Wondrous Garden Custodians. Again, I'm using the Owl Forest overdyed. This is the pattern. So this is stitched on 40 count Evertote Roxy Floss linen, and it's a mystery linen. It was when they first started their linen club, and they didn't have a name for it, so I don't know what it is. It's 185 by 445, 9.3 inches by 22.3 inches, approximately finished. Excuse me. Here's the chart, closer look up of the chart. And I've barely made a start of this. And that's as far as I've gotten. I had from here to here. And this morning I stitched these flowers in, and then some more greenery and a couple of little flowers. So I've got a long ways to go on this. But we'll see. A couple of days here and a couple of days there makes a big difference. I'm not willing to go back to stitching monogamously yet, but I would like to get rid of some of my whips. I'd like to get rid of some so that I can work on some smaller pieces every month and then work on my big pieces as well. There's my, no wonder, see, this is why I lose my cards. I forgot to put this back in with my Star Dragon. And that's it for my whips. I got quite a bit accomplished this month. And then, okay, this is my finishes. I have no FFOs this month. I don't know if all this floss was from that stitch or if it was from any of the others, but I don't think I have a card in here. Or do I? Yes, I do. Excuse me, I need to just put this on my other table so it gets put away. Okay, so this is from Lindy Stitches. It's Lindy's Stockings. It's from the Jingle Ball in 2024. And I started it and finished them. And it's stitched on 36 count vintage country mocha. So this one here is the first stocking, then this stocking, and then this stocking. They're all done. So I've got my woodland star on here too. I don't have anything on the other side, so I'll probably cut these out and try to finish them up, and then I can start some other Christmas smalls. And because I'd like to do some Christmas smalls every month too. And I just have this bag labeled Christmas Charts. And this I got from Stitch North, I believe. No, this must have been from StitchCon 2025. Okay, my haul. Well, first I'll do my memberships that I have. So this is from Evertold. Did they seal this? Yeah. So I belong to their Floss Club and their Linen Club. And this year, Alan from Maximum Cross Stitch has charted a sampler. And each month, each second month, they do this bi-monthly, you get the chart. And you can stitch it with the floss in hand that you've already received. So we get that, and then this is, I love this linen. I'm thinking I'm gonna do my my peacock unicorn and a badger on this peacock unicorn and a badger. Is that what it's called? This is 40 count terrarium. It was in the February Look at this. I think I like this better than even Pub Crawl. It is gorgeous. It is so rich looking. It's incredible. Isn't that gorgeous? I saw it and I thought, oh, I gotta get working on that. And then I thought, no, you don't, Winona, you gotta finish some other things. I wish I could be that person that would start everything, but I just can't. I don't have anyone near me that cross stitches like I do, so I would be embarrassed if something were to happen to me and people realized how many things I had started and hadn't finished. But I guess I'd be dead and it wouldn't really matter, but anyway. So we've got Ice Rink. It's a little bit lavendery. Iceberg. This is gorgeous, and I'm not even a blue person. Huron Time. I guess I'm going to have to tell myself I'm a blue person. Knockout. Beautiful pink. Kahlua. getting quite a collection of Roxy Floss, and we're only at the J's here. Just Peachy, Honeymoon, Honey Mustard, beautiful yellow, Honey I Do. Oh, that's cute, Honey I Do. Holly Jolly. Roxy Floss thread has such a nice sheen to it. Just Navy. This is a beautiful color. Jungle Nights. It's kind of a teal. Hive Mind. Beautiful bee color. Honey color. Hickory. Juniper. Haystack. Jay. Gorgeous blue. Hemlock. Hay bale. I think I'm stitching something with hay bale. Jalapeno. Gorgeous, gorgeous green. Jaded. A jade green color. What do you know? Irony. I love the names of some of these. Inappropriate. Isn't that beautiful? And then In Due Time. So those are my floss for the month and my linen. And I think I'll set those on the table behind me to get put away, and the linen, and I'll put the chart on the floor. I'm going to quickly run out of time. This isn't from my membership, but this is, I went to Hobby Lobby in January. I went down to Minot and went to Hobby Lobby, and I've got this urge. I want to learn how to knit, and I want to make socks. And I saw this yarn, and I thought it was so beautiful. So I bought it. I don't know how to knit. I don't know how to knit socks, but I'm going to learn. And when I do, I'm going to use this yarn and make some socks. Okay, back to my clubs. This is from Fat Quarter Shop. This is the seasonal Stitch Quarterly. Oops, I think that's expired anyway. Yeah, that's long expired. Ah, receive a free Lori Holt Stitchy stand with a $70 purchase. I could have used that. Okay, this shows what's in this kit. So we've got, I haven't even opened this. Here's the chart. So this will go in with my Christmas stitching. I want to try to do a little bit every month. I like that I don't care if this is 14 count Aida or what this is. I like the fact that, I like when they include the fabric in the kit. Then I don't have to worry about finding fabric. I just use whatever fabric they give me. I'm happy to use. So this is a opalescent, looks like 14 count. Got a Christmas needle minder. We got a pair of sweet fabric snips. Man, I should open these things. And we got some John James needles, and we've got the floss to do this chart. And I honestly think, well, whoopsie, sorry I shook you. It'll take a little while to stitch this, but as for this, I think this part will go fast. But we'll see. Sometimes I think that, and then I get stitching, and it's amazing how much time some things that I think won't take much time, how much time they do take. Sorry for crinkling here. And I know the mic is close. I don't have a mic. I just have the microphone on my iPhone. But so far it's served me well. Okay, here's my Erin Elizabeth, my last one, my zinnia. One of these days I'll get stitching these up and make either little stands, like flat stands or whatever, or make little cushions to put in the kitchen in the summertime. Like little on the table, you know, nothing big. But you could stitch this on really big fabric, and you could make, maybe I could make a couple of these into toss cushions for my kitchen, or maybe do like the flowers. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I could do 6 flowers and put some fabric around it and make a big toss cushion out of it. That's a good idea. I have to remember that. This is from Threads of History from, why did I just draw a blank? Country Sampler. So this is Sarah Ann Purdy, 1844, by the Scarlet House. It comes with linen. The linen is 40 count coffee stain from Cedar River. Never stitched on Cedar River, looking forward to it. And then these are the floss. So, and I signed up for next year too. I haven't finished one of them. I have so much to stitch here. I can be busy the rest of my life just cross stitching. But you know, sometimes when you don't feel well, and I don't feel well a lot of the time, it's nice just to look through patterns and things. Like that's how I used to justify my magazine purchases, because when I didn't feel well for my quilting, I would, because I haven't even opened this, I would look through cross-stitch magazines, or not cross-stitch, quilting magazines, or quilting books. So how am I going to open this? I was sure I opened it. They really tape it. Let's see if that's going to open. I told my husband he couldn't burn boxes until I finished my video, because I had a couple of boxes upstairs that would be emptied. Excuse me. I think this is January's box. They come, and I put them to the side till I do a video. And then I don't do a video for a super long time. So, oh, sorry. Jeez, I'm sorry. I'm just making noise like crazy. And, well, here's the most important thing, the candy. These are Prosecco Rosé flavored gummies. And they're made in London. Wonder if they're peanut free. Oh no, it might. So I can't give them to my granddaughters. I just need a drink again. Oh no, I'm out of water. English breakfast tea. I'm not a breakfast tea drinker, but you know what? I'm going to try it. Maybe I'll like it. I like green teas. Here's the stitch this month. Isn't that cute? So that's going to go into my box of Christmas things and winter things that I may stitch. Okay, where's the other? This has a... Okay, I don't have a back for this. It's cute though. Magnetic needle minder. Well, I'll have to check my box and see where the other half went. Oh, here it is. There we go. And then here's some twine to finish it off with. Here's the thread. This is by Croquette A Go-Go. And then here's the 32 count linen. Almost thinking I might trade that in, change my linen to Ada. I don't know. So we'll put this away in this envelope. These are things I could take. I could stitch this in the car. I could take along on trips. Maybe they'd be a good thing to take to Stitch North or Stitch and Stash if I go. And then I could work on them at the retreat and maybe finish something. Okay, I did open this one. I should just take everything out of them when I get them. Okay, this one I love. Stitching Till Spring. Ooh, I may need to start this. This is really pretty. Here's the linen. And then here's the, oh, what beautiful colors. I need to find more hours in my day. It comes with this tiny green rickrack. Goes around the edges, some needles, some fabric for the back, some more English breakfast tea, Royal Mint Peppermint Dark Chocolate, ooh, Montezuma's. Does this have? Yeah, it might. And then this ornament. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to put it to the side, and I'll still have some Christmas stuff in a box downstairs. I'll put that in with my Christmas stuff. So that's my owl, not my owl forest, that's my, oh, what's that called? Historical Sampler Society. And this is my from Pine Mountain. These are my last two for last year's sweet stitchings. And here's sweet stitching. Yeah, here's December's, and it comes with everything you need plus things to decorate with. And then here's January. Oh, little pieces for snowing. So I'm going to try to work on those this year, but we'll see how many I get done. Then okay, please remember that I placed an order in some orders in November, and I had them stitched across the border into North Dakota at a place where I get stuff shipped to sometimes. And I kept ordering and ordering, and I didn't go down until January. So everything I'm going to show you now has been ordered from November until now. So it may seem like a lot, but it's been, this, mind you, was probably a big order because it was all Brenda Gervais, and I didn't get the fall stuff, so I was trying to catch up. So this is The Light of Winter by Brenda Gervais, or With Thy Needle and Thread, I guess. And most of these are With Thy Needle and Thread, and I will just mention who it's by if it's not by her. This is Jingle Bells. A couple of these might be older ones. Sweater Weather. Be good to get these put away with my stitching stuff. This one is One Starry Christmas Eve. There's a lot of stitching in this one. Winter Trio. Bells Are Ringing. Isn't that beautiful? Quaker Snippets number 2. Snowman in the Forecast. Cup Christmas Cheer. Manor at Swan Lake. The Maker and the Mender. Quaker Snippet number 1, Autumn Trio. Then these are from Not Forgotten Farm, Cookie Claws. This is Sinterklaas. These ones will stitch up fast. And this is Little Nick. Then back to With Thy Needle and Thread. We've got Winter Rose Manor. Love this. And Elizabeth Clark 1822. And I don't know why I bought this. I must have seen it stitched from someone I watch on Flosstube, because I wouldn't have just picked it out otherwise. So I had to have seen it stitched. So that's it for that part of my orders. Oops. Okay, I ordered from Hobby House. I ordered 40 count maple bar linen, by Cedar River Linen. And there we go, beautiful. I wanted to try some of her linens. And I still have that one Brenda Gervais that's from last year that's stitched on arboreal. So I picked that up. And there it is. I think most of you have seen this. This is really nice. You don't see, in fact, I haven't seen it on watching videos. I haven't noticed the modeling and the browns and the depth of the colors in it that I see here. It's really pretty. Another needle, With Thy Needle and Thread, Peppermint and Pine. This is I've wanted for a long time, and I want to get the tabby cap linen. Shara Millthorpe, 1834, The Loss of Time is Much. I want to order 36 count tabby cat creme brulee, and I want to order the soie d'Alger for that. This I know I saw in a video, but I can't remember who it was. Thou God seest me. Part of it was the two cats. And then In a Perfect World, and again, this is one I've seen from someone else. From Fat Quarter Shop, I got Thankful, Word Swap. Then from number 12, no, this is X-Jude. X-Jude? How do you say that? X-Jude Design. I've got 40 count Old Sheep. I thought I'd try it and see, because a lot of people swear by that linen. And I picked up Rustic Driftwood. I like this color. I like darker color linens, and this has a little bit of pink in it. Okay, so we'll put these down onto the floor, and then I'll have to clean up again. But it's best to do that than to leave it all till the end. And then finally, I've got the stuff I bought from the D-Stash on Facebook, which I've got to stop looking at, because I've got to stop buying things because they just have so much. So this is just a 36 count marbled raspberry that X-Juice sent along. That's a really pretty pink. Evertoad has a really pretty pink too. So I've got Lori's stitching cards. I'm missing some. I'm missing quite a few. And I saw these on Facebook D-Stash, and so I ordered them. This is set B. Set I. Oopsie. Jeez, I didn't realize I was doing that. Set K. I'll have to go through one day and figure out what I need and order them. Kind of like, if there's a series, I like to have it all. But wouldn't these be good ones when, like, my grandchildren are growing up, and to teach them to cross stitch on little things like this? This is set L. Love the mixer. The apron. And then the mixing cup and the spatula. This is behind it. This is called Quilting. And it comes with all the charms. On the quilting blocks you stitch a charm. That shouldn't take long to sew up. I love Cottage Garden samplings, and I've got the beaver from A Year in the Woods. I've got Little Brown Bat from A Year in the Woods. I don't want all of them. They don't like all of them, but the ones I like I want to get. Anna Millerin, 1786. This is by Quaint Rose Needle Art. Isn't that pretty? Bless This House by Lottie Da. I love the funky flowers. Love that. Little House Needleworks, Home of the Needleworker, Home of a Needleworker. It's an older chart. Elizabeth Isles, 1799. I kind of like that. I don't know why, but I do. Look at all the angels I have to stitch. Carol Amelia Trowell by With Thy Needle and Thread. Look at these guys. Winter Hen by Twin Peaks Primitives. Mary Locke, 1832. 'Tis like a flower that blossoms. I love these flowers. It looks like they're satin stitched. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to satin stitch. There's a lot of satin stitch. Pretty much all the flowers are satin stitch. I'm going to cross stitch them, I think. My Precious Jewel, Anne Alice Townsend's work, age 9, May 5th, 1841. This is by the 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. Like, when am I going to find time to stitch all this? Surin JD, look at this. This is incredible. It's from Thailand. Sampler Cove. But it is, I can't wait to dive into this one. Just the little different bands and squares, and it's like tapestry. I was glad I got that. I grabbed that right away when but you know, I have another order coming in of some samplers, some big samplers from the Destash group, and really I really need to stop buying, but it's like an illness. I can't. So I'm going to pause for a minute to put this away, and then I'll come back with my plan. My plans. If you noticed, I did a lot of stitching this month, and that's because I was watching the Sun City Stitchers, I believe they're called. They're two sisters, they're twins, they're from El Paso, Texas, Carlene and Marlene, and I love watching them. And they're doing weather stitching, but it's not stitching a little bit every day in the high and the low. You pick the last digit, like if you, let's say your temperature's 19 degrees, and I'm in Celsius, so that's why I say 19. I would pick the 9. If it's 21, I'd pick the 1. And I have 10 projects numbered 1 through 9 and 0. I guess 0 through 9. And I picked 5 new ones and 5 whips that I had. And like if the digit ends, if the last digit is a 1 for the high for that day, I stitch on Serenity. And I've had a few days where that's been my stitch. And sometimes I'm too tired, and if I'm too tired, I'm okay with that. And if I can, I get up early the next morning and do the stitch in the morning. But number 2 is Martha S. Scott. And I showed you her earlier, but I don't have a picture of her. So again, I'm not going to open the bag. Again, what I'm going to try to do is download a picture and put it in. The next one, I thought I put these in order. Oh, that's because this is Serenity, that's why. Hop Into Spring by Brenda Gervais. I've got the floss put together. I'm going to have to order one. And I'm going to pick some linen for that. That's Hop Into Spring. That's number 3. Number 4 is Come to the Garden, and that's been by Teresa Kogut. That's been drawn quite a few times. That digit ended in 4. Number 5 is Spring Trio. I've only had that number come up once. So I'm stitching on this one right now. If I have a good night and if the cats aren't bothering me, I can get a lot done in that hour. Number 6 is Margaret Doyle. This is a Hands Across the Sea stitch. Oh, that just shows that part of it. This is sewn with soie d'Alger. Oh, love it. I love working with that. But I think 36 count is the count you should work on. And here's Margaret Doyle. So that's number 6, which hasn't come up yet. Number 7 is Spring Swan, which I think fell down in here. That's with Thy Needle and Thread. Number 8 is Wondrous Garden, which I showed you today, which we did. Number 9 is The Robins Are Here. It looks like I have the linen for it. I think that might be a Roxy Floss linen, if I'm not mistaken. And there's that. And number 0 is the Brick House Sampler by Brenda Gervais, which I've shown you. So when I set this up, I didn't plan that I'm going to do keep this all year, the same projects. I might switch projects out during the year. I might finish a project and need to switch it out. But this is what I'm starting with. And some days it's just all I need to get up and get stitching at night instead of going to bed. So I'm going to work on those. I'm going to continue my Sunday stitching and my Manning Monday. I'm going to continue with my 1 to 2 stitches, 1 to 2 threads a day. I'm going to work on my seasonal stitches from Prime Mountain and Fat Quarter Shop. I'm going to work on Julia Rachel de la Mer every month. I'm going to try to work 5 days a month on Teresa Kogut's Hometown, which I discussed with you earlier. And I'm going to continue doing the weather stitching. Now, did I have anything else on my list? Oh, and finally, I'm going to try to pick up some random whips to work on throughout the month. Like maybe some Christmas, maybe some seasonal. Or maybe some whips that I have that I'd sure like to get finished, and maybe a few days is all it's going to take to finish it. But those are my plans. And if you're not into quilting, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe and comment. My videos have been going down in number lately, and I don't know if that's because they're just not being shown out there as much as they used to be, or what. I'm not quite on the same algorithm that I was before. But I would sure like to have you aboard, and I'm planning for a big draw when I get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm about just over 100 subscribers away from 1,000, and I'm going to do a big, huge draw. And I don't know if anyone's given a draw like this before. I haven't seen anyone give a draw like this before. So please jump on board if you're watching and you're not subscribed. It doesn't cost you anything. And I'll leave you here while I get ready to do my quilting. If you remember last video, I showed you how I set up my planner and my big book on my projects I wanted to do this year. And I have set the assignments in dark ink for each week for this quilt. I have another quilt that I have to get started on. I'm behind on that one. And I have to starch the fabric for, but I only have to do 2 blocks for that one, so I don't mind being behind. And here's some pictures as I was going, working on it. And then in February, I've kept up with this one. Americana, I'm behind now, so I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks to do, so I'm going to have to really get going on that. Socialites, I can't start because the fabric's not here, so I'm going to be behind on that, but that's 1 block a week. I'm sure I can keep caught up on that. And then next week, I'm heading to Regina, where we are right here, right now. So I'm heading to Regina either tonight or tomorrow. So then I'll be gone. I won't be home till the weekend, so I won't get the finishing done until next week. But that's okay. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm pretty proud of myself for keeping caught up. Considering I've had this kit for 2 or 3 years, I'm happy that I've got it. So what I have done is I've got this center part done. I've got this done, but not assembled. Like it's done, each row is done, but it's not sewn onto the barn. Same with these. This is done, this is done, this is done, this is done, and the corners are done, but they're not sewn onto the center. Same with here. All these stars are done, all these stars, all these stars, all these stars. Then these pinwheels are all done, but they're not sewn onto the quilt. I hope you understand that. So here's my box I'm working out of. It's just an iris box out of from Michael's. So here's part of the pinwheels. Here's one of my pinwheels of the 4. Here's my stars. Here's my 4 corner blocks for the inner border. Here are the flowers for the inner border. Here's the checkerboard all sewn together, and here's the barn. So now I just need to sew them together, but that won't happen until I get home from Regina. I'm going up to visit my mom for a few days. And there we go. So I have to thank Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop. Like I've sewn a lot of years and I'm pretty accurate, but I think just watching some of her tips and tricks has made me even more accurate. And I'm slowed down. I'm not in such a rush. I guess when you work, you are in a rush, but now that I'm home all the time, I'm not in such a rush. So I can easily get caught up if I need to. So I've been working on that to get this done, and I'm pretty proud of the fact that I've kept up on my assignments. I want to continue on with my assignments and try to find time. I need to hem some curtains for my son, get those done, and I want to finish some bags that I started long before Christmas. And then the best thing of all, I got a phone call a week or so ago from my 8-year-old granddaughter. She said, "Grandma Nona, I want to learn how to sew. Can I come over?" And I'm like, oh, I've been waiting for this, because she's shown no interest in sewing whatsoever. She loves to draw and color and use my art supplies. So anyway, I said, sure thing. So she came over, and I set her up with an old machine of mine that I had taken in to get serviced and haven't used since. And it went in without squeaking. Now it squeaks. So it's going to go back into service and get it fixed for her, because it's not a very old machine. And it's just a good machine for a beginner. You can adjust the speed and that on it. And you have needle up and needle down, so it's just nice. So anyway, she was sewing. Years ago I purchased some papers with different things to sew, to teach kids how to sew. So she went through sewing those pictures like you wouldn't believe. Like the first time she was doing a round spiral, it was really bad. And I gave her a couple of tips to help her get back on course. The second one she done was perfect. And then she did an oval, it was perfect. So she's going to be a good seamstress. She bought some stuffed animals at the thrift shop, and she wants to learn to sew clothes for them. So the next time she comes over, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make some clothes, which makes me nervous because I've never made clothes for toys. My kids were boys. They didn't play with dolls or toys that needed clothes. So I've never made them for them. So I downloaded a pattern for a stuffed animal pattern with some clothes, and I thought I'll just kind of use those as a guide, and I'll redraft the pattern, and we'll trial and error, we'll get it right. So that's about it for my sewing for the month. I just want this year to be my sewing year. I really do. I've been ill for so many years and I haven't had any energy, and now that I have some energy, I just want to sew. I just want to sew. So in the future I may have more sewing than cross stitch, or it might be vice versa. It just depends how I feel that month. So anyway, let's start with my haul. And again, this is from November to February. So it's been like a lot of it's been sitting here for a long time. Like this was before Christmas. I love poppy cotton. Let's just cut this open. I don't remember what line this is, but I bought this off of Etsy. I saw it and it's like, oh, I need that. Isn't that pretty? Well, let's go this way then. Oh, it's different each way. Isn't that cute? I'll probably make some project bags with this. It might go in with the quilt I'm making just to give me some variety. I've got some poppy cotton in that quilt. But this is so cute. And again, I don't remember the line, but I do love it. Actually, I think that's where this is going to go, is in with that quilt, to give me way more variety. It's very similar to the fabric in there already. Maybe that's what I'll work on when I go to the retreat next month. I'll take that quilt and work on it and try to get it sewn together. So that's that fat quarter bundle from Poppy Cotton. Then from my local quilt shop, I was in there one day. I took my embroidery machine in to get serviced, and they had these Kimberbell CD. Kimberbell is a machine embroidery company. So these are, there's a Canadian one in here too, but these are different banners to put up every month that you stitch. So I picked that up. Let's see on the back. It gives you an idea. I think they're 12.5 by 12.5. 12 by 12 they are. And here's the finishing kit for it, or the embellishment kit for it. It gives you the extra little things you need, like the puff for Santa. Well, let's look here. We've got the red for the flag. We've got some for the umbrella. We've got something for the mushroom and the leaves. Some fluff for that. Just different things in there. And then I picked up this Table-tastic book from Doug Lico. I thought, you know, I should be making some table runners for my house. And just little things, make some little things for a change, instead of all these big things I like to make. So I just picked up this book. And he has, I think, 3 or 4 more books in that series. So I picked that up. Then, what's next on my list? My heater kicked in and now all my papers are flying all over the place. Okay, fat quarter shop. Picked up quite a bit. So I picked up the fat quarter bundle of Gentler Times. Lori Holt, of course. I picked up the 2-layer cakes of Gentler Times by Lori Holt. Can't wait now that I can dig into it. And then I picked up a 5-inch stacker, I think they're called. And I'll just use this one to show you what the fabric looks like. Oh, Cheeto's coming. Almost got through this video without him. Nice thing about Lori Holt fabric is it all goes together. of different fabrics. Her lines are just huge. That's why her fat quarter bundles may cost more than others. It's because there's a lot more fabric in there. She often has 50 different fabrics in her collections. Hi, Cheeto. Okay, you're in the camera's way. Lie down. Yeah, lie down. This is my gentle giant. He's going to be a big cat. He's still young. He's super long. And he's so nice. Every once in a while he gets a bit crazy, but most of the time he's really nice. Thanks, Cheeto. Can you lie down? Thank you. And we're almost done this one. My fingers are getting sore. And there we go. That's it. That's a lot of different fabrics in that. Okay, then I picked up a few different things. These are going to be harder to show. I picked up the Farmyard Friends. As you know, we live on a farm, and I just thought that was so cute. So that's the pattern for the quilt. Oh. Okay, I'm going to have to put you down, sweetheart. Okay? There we go. Okay, so I'll put this down too. Farmyard Friends. I'd like to do cross stitch for that too, but I don't know. That'll be a while away. This was a special. If you spent so much money, you got this book free, and I wanted to do this quilt along when they did it, and I was just too late. So I'm thinking I'm going to search online for a fat quarter bundle of this line, see if I can find it somewhere, and purchase. I bought a bolt of background fabric, so I should be able to use that, and if I need to buy a few extras here and there, I'll buy them. This is their new book, Fat Quarters by the Dozen, and it's a good book when you buy fat quarters. It just gives you lots of ideas of quilts that you can make with fat quarters and some background. I wonder if they have a page that shows them all. No, they don't. Then I picked up a lot of paper, foundation paper. I put most of it away already. But these were these were supposed to be an 8-inch, and they were 7¼ inch woven star. So they were selling them like really cheap. So I picked up 2, 3, 4 of them, and thought I can do a ribbon star. I could do a few of them. I can make some and try to sell them in my Etsy shop, perhaps. Maybe make them and give them away as gifts. I can do lots of things. These are heavy. I love French General fabrics. I have loved them for years and years and years. I actually like reproduction fabrics as well. So I picked up this kit, Joie de Vivre. And let's just open this here. So it comes with the pattern, Wishy Washy, and it's got a runner, baby, and throw sizes. And this is finished as 64.5 by 80.5. And here's some of the fabric. I love French General, like I said. So that's another one to work on. Then Fat Quarter Shop had some kits on sale, I think around Christmas time maybe, I can't remember. And I wanted to purchase this when it came out, but I had talked myself out of it. But then when it was on sale, I thought, oh, Winona, you only live once. We don't go on holidays. We don't smoke, we don't drink. We don't hardly go out. So let's order this kit. So this is a Riley Blake Lori Holt kit. It opens differently than most of them. This beautiful fabric was designed by Lori Holt. Oh, I got some fabric fuzz in my mouth. So this was Peace and Plenty. Oh, Cheeto. And here's the pattern. Cheeto, if you can just wait a couple of minutes, I'm almost done, okay? Oh, you're heavy. Okay? You just stay here. I'll hold you. No? Okay, then you gotta go down. So anyway, I'm anxious to start that. Then I picked up a couple of things from AccuQuilt. I'll just put them up here. I have the AccuQuilt system. I have had it for many years. I bought it while I was working. I have a lot of dies. I've also got the Studio. I bought it used, so I have some Studio dies. But I picked up this 1-inch English paper piecing dies. It's a cube. So you can see it's got the hexagons, it's got the papers for the hexagon it'll cut, it's got the half hexy papers, the equilateral triangle plus the papers, and the diamond, the 60-degree diamond, and the papers. The hole in that tells you it's for the papers, and that you use a little stick to pull the papers out when you're done. It came free with this book. This was on sale like maybe just over $100. It was a really good price. And I thought, you know, I wouldn't mind doing some English paper piecing. So I picked that up, and now I can put that away. Again, this was like maybe Black Friday deal. And then I picked up this Pine Bird die. It's one of their bobs, their block on board. So it has every piece that you need for this block is on this board, but you just put different fabrics where you need them. And this was $36, $36 or $39. And it shows you how to assemble it. And here's a quilt with it, red and white. I'd like to do a batik one, but I thought for 30, well, even if it was 39, for $40, that's a pretty good deal. So let's see what else. I think we're pretty much done. Yeah, and my plans, as I told you, are to continue stitching my assigned stitching, plus maybe throwing a few other things in there as well. So that's about it. If you stayed till the end, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And again, if you will consider subscribing, commenting, I would love to have some comments. I never get any comments. I would like to, if you'd like my video, and we can get those algorithms up. And anyway, let's just finish with some everyday gratitude. This is gratitude for the gift of life. Gratitude for the gift of life is the primary wellspring of all religions, the hallmark of the mystic, and the source of all true art. That's by Joanna Macy and Norbert Gabler. And the question they ask it today is, what does gratitude for the gift of life inspire in me? Well, I'll leave you with that to think about. I wish you lots of love and happiness until we meet again. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.